Hi, I'm Non from My Authentic Style, and this channel is dedicated to helping you find your authentic style. In this video, I'll be discussing the Gamine essence, what it is, how it can be expressed, and how to tell if you have it. First, however, I think it's important to fully understand just what a style essence is. Please note, in my body type analyses, I use the Kibbe system of typing, and for these essence analyses, I use both the Kibbe and the Kitchener. I'm adding the Kitchener system as I think it's a little bit more comprehensive and intuitive, and I've had no issues with using the two together. In fact, I think they complement each other. So, a style essence is different from a body type. The body type is based on a person's body geometry, and identifying it helps a person to know their best clothing lines and styles so that they always look their best. An essence is less tangible. It's based on a person's embodiment and personal expression, and identifying it helps a person know their inner stylistic character so that they always look like themselves or harmonious. Essence, by virtue of how intangible it is difficult to describe. Like class and grace, it's difficult to pinpoint, but you know it when you see it, and it's glaringly obvious when it's missing. A person dressed in a way that captures their essence looks wonderfully complete, and they animate their look, meaning they bring it to life. On the other hand, even in lines that perfectly match their body type, a person who doesn't dress for their essence will look dull and incomplete. Now let's look at an example to illustrate this. Game of Thrones actress Nathalie Emmanuel's body type is unverified, but at a height of 5'7" and taking her in at first glance, I can see why she's a suspected soft natural, or perhaps even a soft classic. Whatever her body type, she has a Gamine essence that she needs to honor to look her best. In these outfits, Nathalie looks cute and even beautiful, but also rather underwhelming. In these romantic and natural leaning lines, her full self doesn't come out, and she just looks okay. I think she looks most beautiful and harmonious in the last image, the purple dress to the right, because her hair gives her back that edge that suits her Gamine essence so well, and that color is beautiful on her. In these looks, I think Nathalie comes to life. These lines and styles honor her Gamine essence with the high neckline, cropped pieces, animated prints, graphics, sharp edges, and the weighted fabric. The playful edginess of the first look to the left and the boyish nature of the suit to the right are perfect Gamine elements that are just perfectly harmonious with her. These photos are taken from a photo shoot and interview Nathalie did for the digital publication Issue, and I think they capture her Gamine essence beautifully. The vivid colors, the bold prints, and the short, sharp lines all create that playful and mischievous vibe of the Gamine essence. Add to that the edgy hair and bold makeup, and the whole thing comes to life. She looks amazing and like a full expression of herself. So, what things communicate essence? Essence is elusive, so it's difficult to pinpoint exactly what individual element created. In truth, it's probably a combination of all of them: the style of clothing, the color palette, the hair and makeup, and the choice of accessories. However, some of these are more fixed than others. For example, the style of clothing is dictated by a person's body type, and the color palette is likely dictated by their color season. So the elements that are left to play with to create or highlight the desired essence are hair, makeup, and the choice of accessories. I call these packaging or tangibles. These tangible elements are the things that anyone can manipulate to recreate a representation of a particular essence. On the right person, it'll come to life and look beautifully natural. On the wrong person, even if it looks beautiful, it will look like a costume. Hair. Hair is communicative. Whether it's tied or loose, sleek or voluminous, polished or unkempt, all of these variations create a different vibe for the person wearing them. Some styles will be more them than others, meaning that some styles will capture their essence better than others. Makeup. Similarly to hair, makeup is a very communicative element of any ensemble. Whether bold or subtle, sharp or blurred, bright or subdued, can create a harmonious look that highlights someone's beauty and essence or one that clashes with it. Accessories. Accessories are fun and dynamic, and they allow for the ultimate expression of a person's essence because of all the options that are available. Not only do they complete a look by stylistically tying it all together, but the shapes, colors, textures, edges, and details of each piece can be used to communicate the essence of the wearer. The second category I call embodiment or intangibles. These intangible elements are the crux of an essence. These pieces come together to animate the packaging, which we just discussed, of a person's embodiment, which is really what we're judging when we talk about their essence. Movement. One way that a person's embodiment of their essence can manifest is in how they generally move, how they pick up and put things down, how they hold them, how they walk, etc. Certain people can be described as gentle, graceful, and poised. This is a particular embodiment. Other people can be described as fun, energetic, and even strong. This is a completely different embodiment. Speech. How a person talks can reveal a lot about them, and particular ways of speaking lend themselves to certain essences. For example, a person can be bold and direct in how they communicate. This is a powerful and perhaps even dominant essence. Or, a person can be light-hearted and almost frivolous in how they communicate. This is a soft and perhaps even flirty essence. And finally, demeanor. A demeanor is all-encompassing, but it can also be clearly worn on a person's face, and it's how that person is perceived by most people. This is how a person generally outwardly presents. Some people are intimidating and intense, like this picture of Meryl Streep in The Devil Wears Prada. In the character she played, I believe she was embodying the essence of Anna Wintour, which is a very strong, dominant character that people generally fear. Others can be warm and welcoming. Some are mischievous, some are pure and innocent, some are alluring. This picture in the middle is more sexy and alluring, and this picture to the right captures more of a youthful and innocent essence. I'm purposely putting this here so that we can all remember that an essence can't be boiled down to a formula. The truly animating part, that thing that brings a person's essence to life, is not something that I can pinpoint and describe. It's the ever elusive muse. It just is. Some people are just a certain way and other people aren't. You either have a particular essence or you don't. If you do, then embodying that essence and allowing it to shine through will make you your most beautiful because it'll make you your most natural, truest self. If you don't have a particular essence, pretending to have it and trying to embody it will make you your least beautiful because it'll be a cheap imitation of someone else. So to tie it all up, even with everything I've described, there is that particular indescribable magic that we each possess, and you just either have it or you don't have it with regards to a particular essence. There are no good essences or bad essences. There's just what's yours and what isn't. Beauty is simply being true to yourself. So what exactly is the Gamine essence? The Gamine essence can be described as a boisterous and youthful expression of femininity. It is bold, fun, and compact. It has an air of mischief and a boyish charm. In the Kibbe world, this is a type made up of an uneven mix of yin and yang, meaning how it presents physically can be very different from person to person. Some features and limbs may feel juxtaposed with each other, creating a compact and boldly eclectic body composition that is always interesting. It follows that the essence associated with this type builds on that idea of boldly eclectic compactedness. The boldly eclectic part speaks to the mismatched body parts that may occur in this type and how beautifully they work with boldly mismatched or eclectic styling. Compactness refers to the compact size of this type, which gives it that fun, bite-sized feel. Using the criteria above, the gamine essence can be distilled as follows. Hair. Gamine hair is short, youthful, and fun. It's no wonder that the signature hairstyle for this essence is the pixie. This hair communicates a certain freedom and unconventionality that is key for the gamine, and the boyish rebelliousness also associated with it. The gamine essence woman looks amazing in ultra short and boyish hair. This is a quick cheat sheet that can help us determine if someone has it or not. When most women would look childish and less feminine in such a style, the gamine essence woman looks fully mature and feminine. In terms of color, gamine hair can be bright, bold, and expressive, and that would harmonize beautifully with this woman. They are free to embrace the unconventional. Makeup. Gamine makeup is centered on capturing the youthful energy of this essence, so it must be fresh and clean. The eyes in particular are central to their beauty looks because they are typically large, expressive, and gorgeous. So a smoky eye is a key go-to that beautifully accentuates this feature. However, this must be done in such a way that it still feels fresh and clean, so nothing too heavy. Lips should be subtle and natural so that they leave the focus on the eyes. Accessories. Gamine accessories are fun and bold. They can be bright and eccentric or more subdued, but they are generally unconventional and expressive in an attention-grabbing way. Gamines can also lean into the boyish aspect of their essence when it comes to styling. This can look like masculine shoes, think of loafers or combat boots, and cigarette pants or tracksuits. In general, they can pull off low effort styles and look amazing. Hobo chic was invented for them. Let's explore this further with some examples. All three of these women look amazing in these three ultra boyish, ultra busy, and somewhat disheveled looks. Most of us couldn't dress like this, particularly Zoe Kravitz's outfit to the right, and not look homeless. These women somehow look feminine and cool. This, by the way, as a note, this is not true for every gamine essence woman, and it depends on how much of this essence is present in her. For example, Reese Witherspoon has a gamine essence, but she also has a more dominant classic essence, so a disheveled look would not work for her, as she requires a more polished and put together sort of styling. Notice how all these gamine essence women also look amazing in ultra short pixie haircuts. I also think it's interesting that they all have different essence compositions. I think Rihanna has a romantic, dramatic gamine essence makeup, whereas I think Miley has a purely gamine essence. And Zoe, I think, has a dramatic gamine combination. However, for each of them, the gamine essence is expressed enough to matter to their styling. Now let's talk about the intangibles of the gamine essence woman. Movement. Gamine movement is spirited. It's energetic, fun, and expressive. It's playful and mischievous. These are the women you expect to bust a move as they walk, and it would be the most natural thing. Their movement may be playful or even a little silly, but it generally inspires joy. Ellen DeGeneres, when she had her show, and her dance entrances come to mind. Regardless of the actual movement, it comes across as fun, light, and easy. Speech. Gamine's speech is random, quirky, and joyful. Above all, it's expressive. So really, anything is on the table. These are the people whom you just never know what they're going to say, and this makes talking to them fun and interesting. This essence is also rebellious and cheeky, so some of their speech may be a little uncouth and spicy, and this works for them within reason. They have a way of and doing getting away with doing and saying things that most of us can't. Demeanor. The Gamine demeanor is cool and spunky. It's cool but playful. It's also magnetic. These are the women that everyone wants to be around because of their infectious energy. They are the party. You feel it when they arrive because everyone gets energized, and you feel it when they're absent. While other essences are cool, think of the dramatic, or magnetic, think of the romantic, the joy of the Gamine essence is that it has both these qualities while also being non threatening. The youthful aspect makes them feel approachable. So, what sort of woman does this create? A brave and youthful woman who is fun and dynamic. These women are bold in how they show up, and they are not afraid to play in life and in fashion. They don't follow rules, and they march to the beat of their own drum. They are the embodiment of cool. Often, these are the trendsetters who make us all wonder how they can get away with and pull off things that the rest of us would never dare to attempt. This playfulness and boldness is their superpower. Their weirdness magnetizes them, and they should never shy away from it. Now let's discuss some Gamine essence icons. A classic and perhaps the most popular example of the Gamine body type and essence is British actress Audrey Hepburn, who came to prominence in Hollywood's golden era. A modern example of this essence, who I think better embodies the fullness of its energetic aspect, is American singer and actress Jenelle Monae. Now, first, Audrey. Audrey Hepburn is an interesting example because I think she also has a bit of the classic essence, which subdues the boisterous or mischievous aspect of her Gamine essence. In her films, she could very easily lean on her classic essence and be ladylike and subdued and look very natural doing so. However, I've chosen these three gifts because they showcase her more cute and energetic, that is to say, her Gamine essence aspects. In each of them, I'm struck by her youthfulness, her playfulness, and her charm. In the first one to the left, I especially love her eye mask, which is bright and glittery, and of course, that signature bold red lip. The colorful display creates a playful scene that her joyful mood and expression complete. There's something very sweet and innocent about it, and a lot of that is the Gamine essence, the youthful part. In the middle two, we see her, oh, the top one, we can see her iconic hairstyle with the almost childish bangs that make her an unforgettable style icon. We can see just how stunning she was, but also just how sweet, fresh, and innocent her essence is. In the last one, we can see her petiteness. Audrey Hepburn looked so tiny and slight, but she was actually 5'7". That's quite tall for a Gamine body type whose key characteristic is compactness. The important thing, though, is that she looked compact. She looked tiny, and when I learned about her height, I was actually surprised because I would have guessed her to be much shorter. In the last gif, she looks like a much smaller woman. She also looks playful and full of joy, a perfect embodiment of her essence. And now let's move on to Jenelle Monae. I think Jenelle is a perfect embodiment of the Gamine essence in its full form, meaning the full, energetic, quirky, rebellious, and even boyish traits. She embodies all of it. In these three gifts, I see every aspect of this, from the way she dances across the screen in the middle and even the bottom one when she's moving towards the camera, that energetic embodiment, to the fun and playful shoulder shimmy in the first column to the left. I get a sense that she's a very cool person and she's easy to be around, and that I want to be around her. She's cool. And interestingly, in the first two, in both those things, she's not really doing much, but the way she's doing those things is just very cool. Regardless of what she's doing, she oozes that sense. In the last two, we can see more of that rebellious and weird, quirky energy of the essence. It's still fun and playful, and she gives off a very good vibe. I personally loved Jenelle's tuxedo phase. She seems to be past it now, but she really owned that for the entire start of her career. It was obviously an artistic choice, the reasons behind which I'll never know, but I can speculate that apart from looking great, it also allowed her to move and express herself as she wanted. She could be funky, cool, and weird, and we could be dazzled by her talent without objectifying her or fixating on her clothing. Whatever the reasons were, the suits and the entire style captured her Gamine essence perfectly, and she brought them to life in a way that very few women can. What does the Gamine essence look like in real people? Well, let's look at some celebrity examples. While each of these women has a different Kibbe body type, what they have in common is a Gamine essence. Essence doesn't have a body type, so even though Reese Witherspoon is a soft Gamine, and Zoe Kravitz is a flamboyant Gamine, and Emma Watson and Miley Cyrus are unverified, they all have a Gamine essence. They have in common that they look their best when their hair is short and boyish, but not Reese Witherspoon, because again, she has a more dominant classic essence, so longer hair in more traditional styles suits her better. But for the others, this holds true. They look their best when their hair is short and boyish, when their makeup is bold and fun, and when their accessories are bright and visually interesting. In short, they look their best when they look eclectic, compactly tailored, and playful, because this honors their Gamine essence. I think that true essence is more important than body type essence. It's important to identify your essences because honoring them matters just as much, if not more, than honoring your body type lines. A huge mistake would be to assume that your body type dictates your essence, meaning that if you're a natural body type, then you must have a natural essence. Let's look at an example of this. Think of Miley Cyrus. Miley is unverified, and I won't speculate on her type, but I do think she has a clear Gamine essence. She has that wildly energetic vibe and a seemingly built-in playful and mischievous embodiment. Let's see how her hair and makeup from different essences look on her versus her hair and makeup from her essence. In the first two hairstyles and makeup, Miley looks fine, good even, but certainly not memorable. The hair in the first image is better suited to someone with a natural essence, that long wavy hair. And I think on Miley, it's sort of just there, and it drags her down a bit. The hair in the middle image is better suited to someone with a romantic essence. I find it to be too ornate and perfect, so it looks a little bit costumey on Miley. Her makeup is great technically, but again, it does nothing to bring her to life. She looks good, but there's nothing that stands out about it. She just looks okay. I think she looks the most like herself and the fullest expression of herself in the last image to the right, which is also the most Gamine in essence. The super short hair is a nod to the boyishness of the essence, and the blonde coloring is fun and edgy. I love the bright red lip that adds a pop of color, and overall the look is fresh and energetic, and it captures her perfectly. Let's look at another example. Cara Delevingne. Cara is also unverified, but she likely falls into the dramatic or natural family because she is not overly tall, but she does have a long vertical line. Regardless, I see in her an obvious Gamine essence. In these images, I think is the longer her hair is, the more it drags her down. So the first style to the left is her least flattering. The color is too dark and dramatic for her, and the wet look is also not great for her as it leans too natural in essence. In the middle style, she looks fine, but the overall effect is rather bland, and I think it ages her. However, the move from long to shorter hair and unkempt to smoothly styled were both positive, so the second look suits her far better than the first one. And then I think the last look is her best. The cropped, bleach blonde pixie cut captures her true vibe and essence. She looks fun, youthful, and rebellious. Perhaps a better way to say that is she looks fully like herself and she comes to life. The takeaway here is that you need to make sure you know your essence or essences so you can style your hair, your makeup, and your accessories to honor them. This will bring out the best you. If you don't honor them, even if you nail the body type lines, you look incomplete and dull. Essence can be difficult to define because it's so intangible. I really hope this video has helped decipher what the Gamine essence is and how it manifests in the people who have it. As we dive deeper into these essence analysis, I'd be remiss if I didn't discuss the following. Sensuality does not equal femininity. I think we have come to incorrectly associate femininity with a particular look because of how it's often portrayed and sold to us. I think this is the reason why so many women shy away from the more quote unquote masculine body types in Kibbe and certainly from the associated essences. There's this belief that falling into one of these categories takes away from your femininity, but this is simply not true. Femininity does not have a body type or favorite essence. Femininity is simply the way of being for any woman in her true power. This is true in body types. Dramatic women look their most feminine when they honor their lines and lean into their masculine recommendations. As far as essences, I want to make clear that what I discuss here is a very superficial representation of what it means to be feminine. I can talk about movements, clothing, demeanors, and general ways of being that are more or less feminine as compared to others, but that, in and of itself, is not femininity. Femininity, as I understand it, transcends these classifications. It exists for all of us, and it is clearly visible, embodied by incredible women who fall into every category of body type and essence. And I hope this series hopes to highlight that. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I hope you liked the video and that you learned something from it. If you did, let me know in the comments below. In fact, please do all the things. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn on your notifications. If you like this kind of content and want to read more before the next video, hop on over to my website where I have tons of posts for you to read through. Otherwise, from me none, big love, and I'll see you on the next one.